Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Combat Conversations, and I'm your boy AG, aka the Boxing Guru, and I'm joined with my man DB. What's going on with it, baby?
Not much, AG. How you doing?
I'm living good, man. You know, just again for the umpteenth time. You know, fucking busy week. You know, State of the Union address. We getting tired like Sleepy Joe Biden. We here right now. We up late. We in the booth working.
Shout out to the USA.
Shout out to the USA this time because we doing work tonight. Oh shit. NFL honors, I guess, you know, Patrick Mahomes MVP. Tell Kirk Cousins to stay off of Mike. Dude can't sing. I can't sing neither. I give him credit. He sounded like he knew how, but at the same time, I wasn't feeling his voice. But you know, shout out Patrick Mahomes. Oh, I got the Eagles. I like me some Jalen Hurts.
You like you some Jalen Hurts?
Yeah. Fly Eagles fly. Just for this Sunday though, that's it.
What's your prediction? What's the score?
37-34.
Nah, I think it's gonna be a low scoring game.
Think so?
Yeah.
We're gonna see. It's gonna be
24-20 Eagles.
24-20. Fly Eagles fly, baby. And then we got the GOAT. The self-proclaimed GOAT. He called himself the GOAT too. A lot of people would say that actually like discredits you from being the GOAT once you admit that you the GOAT. I don't know how that works. I don't rate the GOAT rules. But
cause
all I know is the GOAT played in Chicago.
Well, that is true. He did play in Chicago. But like, I saw an interview one time, and Michael Jordan said it made him cringe, like when people call him the GOAT, because he said it was like disrespectful.
He felt it, you know. He felt the disrespected, yeah,
to different eras, because like he didn't get to play against Jerry West or you know all the other legends, and then like you know Tom Brady, even he did the same thing when Michael Strahan asked him about it. Like he said, it makes him cringe, but we know deep down inside, we know Michael Jordan and Tom Brady. They're like, we're the GOATs. We're the GOATs, and
it's funny to let y'all debate about it. Because here's the hypothetical. And that's why we here. Boxing is way more hypothetical than reality. There's so many mythical fights that we literally want to fucking see over the real fights that are going to happen this weekend that we want to talk about. And the main entree is Tank and Ryan Garcia. Is it being made? Is it not being made? Rematch clause, no rematch clause. Who's leading the promotion? Who's not leading? I mean, we over here, the hottest news is a fight that we want to fucking get made. Not even a fight that this weekend, the championship fight with Rey Vargas and Dominique Foster. It's a fight we are going to sit down and watch.
Why does there even need to be a rematch? No belt is on the line.
Hey, the Mickey Mouse belt's on the line though.
It's a catch weight though.
Touche.
So even then, that Mickey Mouse belt don't mean shit.
I get it. I'm one of the ones who was advocating for this fight. Don't need a rematch clause itself. I agree. Winner take all. Ain't no titles on the line. Winner moves on.
I mean, do you think that's once again Al Heyman thinking his guy can't get it done?
It could be another case of that. You know. In this case, he might be willing to lean a little bit more because he might favor Tank a little bit more.
Because if I'm not mistaken,
Ryan
it's
Garcia.
Tank who wants the rematch.
Correct. Yes.
Not Ryan Garcia.
Well, we don't know whether or not it's Tank or Al Heyman, but yes, it is Tank's side, and he's the only one that's going to get a rematch clause. So if Ryan loses, he can go piss up a tree.
Right.
Seriously, if Tank loses, we got to run it back.
And then apparently, you know, Tank, I mean, him, PBC, whoever, they've been lying about some pay-per-view numbers.
Somebody been lying. Somebody been bullshitting. I mean,
that weasel, Steven Espinoza, he kind of slipped up a little bit.
Yeah, he slipped up. You know, but here's the thing. Here's the problem. Apparently, he slips up on one audio podcast talking. But yet, what he says on another one, we gotta take for word. We gotta take for the Bible.
Bro, you need to get with chicken talk.
Apparently we need the GWTP. You know, because that's where. But what he says on there is law, apparently. You know, I get it. There's a lot. We right here. There's a lot of us out there, but it's getting down on the microphone. But why? Why is it what he? Why do I have to take what he says on one platform for law? But yet, when he says something on another platform, I can't critique it. And fuck me. Fuck me. Don't worry about me critiquing it. Why aren't we worried about his contradictory ass words? Why aren't we worried about not getting the truth?
Because it doesn't fit the narrative.
Touche.
That's what it's
I mean,
all
my
about.
hands, throw your hands in the air. I mean, hey, it's just that's the whole 8 ball that we behind. He's been trying to inflate these pay-per-view numbers to look good.
We get it. Like, we know we're not gonna get the exact number,
but motherfuckers act like they got the exact number.
Oh, definitely.
And that's the sad part about it, is like we talk about how Steven Espinosa being in his position, he can't deliberately falsify a number. It's always just, they got people working for them behind the scenes. They got writers on staff, and, you know, hey, if you want to say writers on Boxing Insider and all that is bullshit, that's a different argument. But the numbers are there, and that's where the quote unquote wiki shots come from. They acting like Wikipedia came up with those fucking numbers. Like Wikipedia has a source. People working for them putting out numbers. No. They're leading us to BoxRec, Boxing Insider saying these numbers. And they numbers that they support, but they still don't want to hear that.
And what's funny, like you said earlier, I mean, they still support said number, even though it...
Yeah, so it's... They're saying, let's just say 200K. And that's the number. And then all of a sudden, Espinosa steps in and says that this one didn't do 200, but it's his second biggest. Okay, then that means none of them outside of his biggest hit 200. But yeah, Tank's popping out 200 like that's the norm now. Apparently, you know, that's it. He can't do under 200. I think at this point, if something under 200K comes out for Tank, that's a flop.
Oh yeah, definitely. And you know, like you said, according to what Steven Espinosa said, the Rolly fight, that's his biggest fight. And then he said the Hector Luis Garcia fight, it didn't quite hit 200K.
Yeah.
It was like
he said, yeah. He talks about how the 61,000 supposedly floating out there is the cable number, which is less than half. So if it was half, again, that'd be 120K. So it's less than half. You might be looking at 150, 180. We'll go out and say in that range, 180 to 190 range. But it's not. And he says we're not at 200. And the way he says that would probably let linguistics experts, you know, you break this shit down. You know, you read into this, okay? The way he says it, you might interpret that he honestly knows enough. He's the fucking CEO of Showtime Sports. He knows the number, okay? But it's uncommon practice for them to release the official number. And like we've talked about in the past, trust me, if the number was good, you would hear it from them instantly.
Just
quick,
like that, on the dot.
Because they'd be proud to promote a number like that. They would say, oh, ballpark figure, and it would be quick.
We've seen it time and time again.
Time and time again. But then when you know the pay-per-view kind of suffered, that's when they linger on it. There's no certainty. You get different numbers from multiple sources, and now it's who can prove they're credible, which one they start. That's all the nonsense that gets thrown into it. But we know that they don't officially say it, but yet they know it. So if you think about it, the way he said it, he knows the number. And I think that's where he honestly says, like, we're not at 200, but it probably did very close to 200, 180 or whatever. But then again, he hops on another fucking podcast, Chicken Talk Spaces on Twitter or whatnot, and then he says it was over 200K, and I'm supposed to believe that version, but he misspoke on the other. I don't know. Regardless, y'all cool with a guy who lies, contradicts himself. I don't know what to believe.
Connor did call him a weasel.
Yeah, and you know what's sad? Is that if the 61K is real, Wilder sold more of knocking out fucking Hellenius than he did fighting Hector Garcia. So does that mean that Wilder is a bigger draw than Tank? Has Tank's opponents been carrying him? Did Leo Santa Cruz?
Well, like, here's the thing.
Did
Like,
Mario Barrios is following? Did Isak Cruz is following, carrying him?
So
a lot of Hispanic fighters.
I'm not going to say his name, but a certain individual believes that Ryan Garcia and Tank would genuinely do 200 million buys.
Hold up, say that again.
So
200 million
or 2 million. My bad.
2 million. Okay,
okay. My bad.
You almost. I fell out my fucking chair.
My bad. 2 million buys.
Okay.
And my thing is before the Espinoza clip came out, because again, we know Wikipedia is not a legitimate source, but like I said, I've seen other people use that, and
go use Wikipedia to find the link where that number came from, and
Exactly.
whether you deem that credible is a different fucking argument. We didn't get this from a Wikipedia staff member,
right?
And anybody talks about how they can edit Wikipedia and make it. Go ahead and do that, and see if that shit's not fixed in 5 or 10 minutes.
Right.
People nuts. They want to argue about dumb shit.
But again, like I said, before the Espinoza clip came out, when you looked at Tank's pay-per-view numbers, the highest was Rolly, which was at 250K.
Which is another point Espinoza said I want to get on. He said that was a little bit over 200K. 250 is not a little bit over 200K, but okay.
That's a lot.
It's quite a bit over 200K.
And that's the most Tank had ever sold. So my thing is, and I get it, Ryan Garcia, he's been in a couple commercials with what's the basketball player that he was in the commercial with?
Oh, was it Dame?
Dame?
Yeah.
I heard people say
shout out to Dame, huge boxing fan.
He's got a sponsorship deal with Gatorade, and so I'm sure he's got like other endorsements and stuff like that. But Ryan hasn't sold any pay-per-views yet. So like, are you banking on Ryan's social media prowess? Are you banking on his popularity alone? Like, and again, that kind of goes back to what you were asking earlier. Is it Tank's opponents carrying him as opposed to Tank being that guy,
the star,
that prize fighter?
Right. And Tank does have a lot of fans, and he is exciting, no doubt. But just to that point, he seems to be fighting fighters who have a heavy following already. Equally before we felt they got in the ring with Tank. And now that they're getting in the ring with Tank, you got Leo Santa Cruz, Mario Barrios, Isak Cruz, and now you got Ryan Garcia. And we know, again, that the face of boxing right now is an Hispanic boxer, Canelo. So we know that America has fallen off the boxing game, but the Hispanic is strongly behind their fighters. Okay? So I feel like, one could argue that Tank's opponents are helping carry him to those high levels. And it's not Tank doing the numbers. And yes, when it comes to these money and these purses, I guarantee you that they banking on Ryan Garcia's social media success and all that. Hell yeah. They want his...
It ain't doing 2 million pounds though.
No, it's not doing 2 million.
It's not even gonna do a mil. I think
you don't think it'll do a mil?
If this fight
that's a new debate. I'm putting that up after this. How many? If this fight gets made, how many will it do? And let's see who's the closest without going over.
I say it does 800,000.
Okay.
800,000.
So it's still a pretty hefty number.
Oh, absolutely. Like it, I do.
Especially
think it would
in today's.
I do think it would sell big time, but it's not going to be like. No, it's not doing 2 million. It's not going to hit a mil. But I think anywhere from 600K to 800K. I think that's a reasonable.
It's a reasonable number.
Yeah.
Range.
Yep.
That sounds about right because, again, if Tank's doing 200K with these opponents, then there's no reason why I don't see he can't do 600K with Ryan Garcia, 700K. So 800 might be a good number. They'd like to touch 1 million. I know they'd like to think they could touch 1 million.
I think anything less than 6
is a disappointment.
A disappointment.
if it does 6, then one or two things. You're either looking at 400,000 Ryan Garcia fans, or you looking at 200,000 to 300,000 Ryan Garcia fans, equal to Tanks, and now you just got a couple Tank hardcores that are willing to pay to see a Ryan Garcia fight, as opposed to him seeing fight Hector Garcia or somebody.
Right. I mean, well, I guess time will tell. You know, the fight.
Time will. April 15th is creeping.
The fight is supposedly close to being made, but we'll have to wait and see.
We will have to wait and see. And we got another good fight on our hands, potentially. Again, back with the hypotheticals. The hypotheticals seem to be better than the realistic.
For boxing.
Josh Taylor and Teofimo. 2 ducks getting together, going to swim in a pond.
I thought Josh was done at 140.
What you asking me for? I ain't Josh Taylor. I thought he was too. Or after Jack, but Jack didn't come for a second time. Quack, quack.
You got 2 ducks going at it. Who, if that fight gets made, who you got?
That's gonna be a tough one. Ooh, that's a tough one. Are
you hoping they both land and just knock each other out? That
would be my motherfucking dream. If both of them hit that Rocky Apollo Creed 2, and they both just go down in I was gonna say the 15th round, but obviously there ain't no 15th round. They both just went down, period, sometime during the fight. And then neither one of them got up. And they both got awarded a loss. Change the rules for them. But if I'm going to try to pick a winner out of that two, you know, mine may change over time, but I don't see why. It ain't like either one of them are going to do anything between then and now to make me change my mind. But I'm probably still leaning Josh Taylor. A little bit, probably, you know, big guy, big for 140. T.O.'s, you know, started off at smaller divisions coming up. I would probably still lean Josh Taylor in that.
I don't know. That's kind of tough because, like, when you look at their last couple fights, they've not been impressive at all.
Neither one of them.
I still think he lost to Sandor Martin. I still think, obviously, Josh Taylor lost to Jack Catterall. I don't know. I think a part of me wants to go with T.O., and then, like you said, a part of me wants to go with Josh Taylor.
And a part of me wants
fight. I think it's
it is a good fight. It's definitely a fight I'm anxious to see, no doubt. But it's one of those where I would go with the other to go against the other. Like that part of me that says I want to go for Josh Taylor is because I want to see T.O. lose. And the part of me that wants to go for T.O. is because I want to see Josh Taylor lose. But yet again, another good fight coming up that could potentially be made. But T.O. didn't want that Regis smoke. And apparently Josh just didn't want to deal with Jack Catterall for a second time. For whatever reason. Same reason I guess he didn't want to deal with Regis again.
He knows he lost with Jack Catterall.
But if this is the difference between a duck and a lion. And we gotta give Jamel credit for doing that. I think Castaño won the first fight. Run it back. Put no doubt. Leave no doubt. Nobody is now questioning the second fight or even who's the real better fighter. Do we need to see a third one? Probably not.
Back and whooped Castaño.
Right. Didn't leave a doubt in our head that makes us want to see a third one. Why didn't Josh immediately come back, want to put a stamp on it and say, you know what? Let me take it out the judge's hands.
Shit, why didn't he rematch Regis?
He didn't want that smoke. He didn't want that. It was and Josh won a majority decision. So one judge had it a draw. You know, I really feel like, you know, like you said, you argue that fight, Regis outlanded him and more accurate. So I had Regis
Josh
and way more damage.
Was fucking like busted up.
Yeah,
black eye and shit. Eye swollen up
like a tennis ball. Looked like a tennis ball literally on his eye. That's how big that motherfucker was.
Outlanded him more. He landed more. Did more damage. Pushed the pace
and was more accurate of a puncher that night.
Was the more efficient fighter.
Yes. more effective and more efficient. But he was just in the wrong backyard.
Anytime you fight Josh Taylor in Scotland or whatever, it's just you're not gonna get a fair shake.
Not at all. And
because literally both
Jack knows all too well.
Because both Regis and Jack
both got jerked.
So I mean, you know, anytime you fight Josh Taylor in his home country, just pack it in. You're not gonna get a dub.
Yeah. And your favorite fighter's coming back too. Anthony Joshua, baby.
Oh, he's my favorite fighter now.
I thought I heard you say something about that like not too long ago. Maybe I misheard, but shout out to Josh Franklin though.
If I recall, you used to be big on Anthony Joshua.
Was I? I don't remember that.
Yeah,
I don't remember that.
Yeah, you were. Yeah.
See, now you're just making shit up.
No, you were big on Anthony Joshua.
I liked him. You know why I liked him? And this is honestly, you know why I liked him? Because you're in love with some Tyson Fury. That's why. So I got to make sure that, you know, can't ride with who you ride with. Got to derail that shit. That's why Usyk's about to put his dick in the dirt. And he won't reply. He won't respond to these tweets and stuff. Gets all quiet when it comes time to, you know, he's scared of the middleweight. Come on, Tyson. Sign the contract, big boy. Sign the contract. Which is why the 135 division is so stacked, even though Loma's going out on his way out. You saw Shakur? You heard Shakur?
Oh, he's going to be champ by year's end.
Yeah, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about what he said about Loma.
Oh, yeah, he's washed.
He's washed.
Looked terrible against...
like
Junior
yesterday's
Ortiz.
laundry. It's over for Loma.
Yeah, I know.
Do you? Do you? I thought I remember somebody saying he might win a split decision.
I mean...
Might have to dig into the archives.
How long ago was that, though?
That was a while ago. I think that was before Jermaine. Might have been before Nakatila. Or whoever he fought.
You mean Nakatani?
Whatever. The generic monster. Okay.
I mean...
Needless to say, can't ride with who you riding with. Hope they get their block knocked off.
I mean, I don't know. I gotta see how he does against Devin Haney. You know, if he's competitive, I think he can be competitive with Shakur, but I do think Father Time is creeping.
He's still on the young side, though. I mean, what is Loma? 32, 33, 35?
I think
he
30,
might be
34, 35.
34, 35. I'm going to have to check that out, see that DOB. You know, check some ID like the Popo, see how old he is. You know, but at the same time, I don't think he's over the hill. Now, whether he's on the other side, yeah, is on the other side mean over the hill? I mean, on the back nine? I mean, when you got a back nine, are you on 10 or is he on 18? Like, there's a difference.
Right.
It's a big difference. So, time will tell. Time will tell.
Yeah.
But what about AJ, though? Back to AJ, kind of. You know, Josh Franklin had a decent outing against Dillian White, but Dillian White is absolutely fucking garbage. I mean, look, we gave him his credit when he was coming up. He did his thing, but dude, you want to talk about washed? Fucking Derek Chisora and Dillian White are in the same load. It's ridiculous, bro. They are. Neither one of them have got it anymore, if they've ever had it for real.
They got that Tyson Fury payday and checked out.
And Dillian White was slightly checking out before the fucking Tyson Fury fight. I mean, according
to all the experts, you know, that was a fight Tyson Fury needed. Dillian White, he was supposed to be one of those...
The body snatcher.
He was supposed to be one of the top guys at heavyweight. He was somebody that Tyson Fury needed. And now he's fucking trash.
But that's just you gotta hype it up. I mean, we saw they had to. That's why they had to sell the all UK fight, and that's why they kind of want Anthony Joshua. They had to.
Okay, but how many times?
That reminds me of the David Hay video where he's like, Tyson Fury ain't gonna be able to handle Dillian White. The stamina. And then next thing you know, they show a video of Dillian White can't even stand up in the ring. He's so tired. He's like the hand speed. And they show Dillian White punching, and it's like dude's dodging the punches like crazy. And then he's like, his chin's too strong. And then they show you Pulev knocking his fucking ass out. I mean, we was trying to give Dillian White the sliver of hope we thought he might have had.
He shit the bed against Tyson Fury big time.
Yeah. He was shitting again. If we have to be brutally honest, I know we want to hype up fights before they happen, but you know, Dillian White's, it's been a long time coming, and Derek, God forbid, we didn't really need to see the Derek Chisora fight. That was a waste of time.
No, that was a senior assault. That was like, it's like me going out beating up on an old man.
Pretty much. I mean, but at the same time, you know, Tyson Fury just gave him a couple love paps. You know, he gave his friend a payday. That's what it was. You know, but a lot of heavyweights out there. Hopefully, Josh Franklin does good. I wouldn't mind seeing AJ lose again. It wouldn't hurt my feelings. You know what I mean? Like, it's over. It's over for him. You know what I'm saying? It's, to me, he's done. He's done. He showed it after the Usyk fight with the mentality. I think mentally AJ's done. I don't think
his confidence is gone.
His confidence is gone.
No,
when I say it, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But when Robert Garcia says it, you know, the dude's fucking damn dude's genius. There's a lot going on. But to get off the hypotheticals and to end it on a good note with the boxing, do have some exciting fights this weekend. My man Rey Vargas back in the building against Dominique Icewater Foster. Gonna be a good fight. PBC, you know, PBC's putting on decent fights because they have to. Nice little schedule coming out. You know, like we talked about, Plant, Benavidez. A lot of good fights coming to PBC way. But this weekend, PBC putting on a good fight. Then we got Adam Azim, young little prospect coming back. He's real nice too. Gonna be on Boxer. So just be on just be on the lookout for him. If you're into good quality boxing, he's somebody you definitely want to check out if you get a chance.
Hey,
even watch his highlights. You know, he's not fighting anybody necessarily worthy right now. He's sharpening skills, but be on the lookout for him. 2-3 years from now, he'll be a force to be reckoned with.
Hey, real talk, Boxer, they be putting on quality fights
already. I mean, they up there in the game. You know, Boxer is up there putting on. I think they just recently did a new deal with Sky Sports, and it's like people questioning whether or not they're gonna rival Matchroom in Queensberry. Lot of good things happening over there for sure.
I think Boxer and DAZN are the two best at putting on quality fights, like across the board, like from start to finish. Like when you look at PBC, like usually it's the main event, sometimes the co-main, but the rest of the card isn't that great. Top Rank, usually the entire card is kind of shitty.
Usually Top Rank likes to put on prospects though. That's Top Rank has, to me, the best young stable. Like we've talked about, PBC's got usually the hottest stars. PBC does have a lot of good stars. Wilder, Tank, Errol Spence, Roley. There's a lot of stardom. But PBC's not the best at prospects. PBC is a television show anyway. It's really TGB Promotions. PBC is a television show. So they want to put on stardom. They want you to watch. Casuals are not tuning in to prospects. Hardcores watch prospects. We like prospects. We like seeing sweet science and skill. Casuals want to see a great fight between two stars. That's what they want to see. So, PBC putting on a good show. Boxer putting on a good show. Boxing, taking a little back seat until the hypotheticals come around. So, shout out to boxing.
It's always hypotheticals.
It's always.
Always.
But this weekend, we're going to shift gears. We got a UFC 284 coming up. Pound for pound. When's the last time this happened in boxing? You'd have to look this up. There's got to be somebody out there coming with the facts. Hit us up. When was the last time boxing put on basically the consensus? I get it. We talk about it all the time. Pound for pound list is an opinionated list. But genuinely speaking, all intelligent lists, all lists with some sense, usually have a combination of the same guys in different positions. You start to see a common theme because, again, people who actually watch the sport know when they see certain great fighters, okay? We could argue if he's second, third, or fourth, but he's still top 5. Blah, blah, blah. When is the last time in boxing we've seen consensus number 1 and number 2 basically go at it in a fight?
That's a good question.
And in this case, both of them both of them undefeated? Or is, I don't Islam.
Volk has a loss, but he's undefeated in the UFC.
That's all that matters.
Islam, he's got 1 loss.
Okay. So he will never be Khabib.
No.
Like LeBron will never be Jordan. He will never be Khabib. He's got a blemish on the record.
Dude, I think it's funny. You used to be so high on LeBron.
I like LeBron. I never disliked this game.
And then after The Last Dance came out, you was like, cuz.
Yeah, I mean, hey, look, shout out to The Last Dance. I mean, they put it in perspective for me. But
they made you see
main thing is I saw the talent. I saw the raw talent early, you know, to not to drive this vehicle too far, of course. Saw the talent early, was a huge fan. You know, unless you're just a pure D hater, you like I am for Teofimo and like I am for Josh Taylor. You recognize talent. And even then, as many times as we've talked about how much we can't stand them two, we know how good they are. So for anybody to deny LeBron his greatness is just an ultimate hater. But that don't mean you got to like him. With that being said, I saw the raw talent early and became a huge fan. But when you become with a, fandom comes with responsibilities. Backing your guy, rooting for your guy. If you're not gonna do that, then needless to say, you're either not a fan or you're a fake fan.
And all that flopping he's done over the years, it just got harder.
It got hard to defend, and then him wanting to build his team and all that, it just became crazy. So, yeah, at some point, I had to look in the mirror and be like, dude, I'm getting clowned in these debates because I'm trying to defend LeBron, and next thing you know, he turns around and does it again. He turned around and did it again. Like,
he's out here making
too many
like
times.
A clown.
Putting the face paint on, one dot at a time.
But no, back to what we were talking about. I mean, that's a good question. You know, when's the last time in boxing have you seen the consensus number 1 and number 2 pound for pound go at it? I know this is the first time in UFC it's happened.
Yeah, Dana White expressed that.
Yeah. So, and I know Islam, I don't know if you saw it, but Islam Makhachev was talking about how he felt like the fight wasn't getting promoted, or, we kind of touched up on it the last episode.
Mm-hmm.
But
exactly. I brought it up.
But from what I heard, they're supposed to be doing big numbers.
I'm not saying I'm an expert, but I be knowing what the fuck I'm talking about. Like, it's so funny when you say something and then all of a sudden somebody in some position of power or authority on the topic says something. It's like, damn, if only I had just gotten out there first.
Right.
But we did, and that's just it. I felt like it wasn't getting the props it deserved, the promotion it deserved, the recognition. Pre-fight. It might be a dud. Doubt it, but it could very well be. I'm just talking about the pre-hype should be a little bit more to me, and it's not. But
I bet it was
here we are the day before.
I bet it was probably promoted a lot more in Australia.
Possibly.
I mean, it is.
I'm sure. Yeah, I mean, because back to what we talk about too. To give Tank his credit, even though we might be arguing over his pay-per-view numbers, the man could sell a gate. People want to go to his fights. He could sell a crowd, and stars come out for him. He could definitely sell a venue, but it's the casual at home that boxing is concerned about. Mm-hmm. So they might have pushed it a little bit more in his hometown just to kind of guarantee a good gate revenue. But on the flip side of that coin, it's just a fight that I didn't see too much hype on. I every time I did see it, it was like oh yeah, I forgot. It was because I would see it and then not hear or read about it for like 5-8 days. And I get it. It's not something you have to read every day. But when the hype is that real, it's almost like somebody's talking about it, some promotion somewhere, and it's only like a read away. But no, you just didn't quite see it. So, but it is upon us. We are here. Number 1 versus number 2 pound for pound in the game.
Who you got?
Stop me in my tracks. Volkanovski.
You going with Volk?
I'm going with Volk. I'm riding with my man's hometown. The hype getting up. He's not going to let Islam do what he wants. I could be wrong.
So you got Volk by UD?
No.
Knockout?
No. Split, like, arguable decision. Split decision. It's going to be that good of a fight to me. It's going to be tough to judge. But I'm going to have Volkanovski eking out the dub.
I'm going to go with Islam. I mean, we've talked about it time and time again. It's like, you know it, I know it. My dog knows it. Your cat knows it. But they're going to go and get that takedown, and they're just going to smother you with that ground and pound, and they're either going to finish you or submit you. You know, and until somebody can show that they can stop that Sambo wrestling, that Dagestani wrestling, I'm gonna ride that wave, and I'm gonna go with Islam.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I've told you, before the show, if Volk wants a legitimate shot at winning, I think he's gonna have to be elusive, quick, fat. Like, he's gonna have to have the perfect fight for 25 minutes.
He will have to be on his A game.
Because I don't see him knocking him out. I don't see him submitting him.
He's just going to have to go in there and beat him.
Yeah.
For 25 minutes.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a tall task. Man, that is going to be a tall task. And I think he could do it. If anybody's going to do it, Volk can. Not saying he will, but it's going to be a tough fight.
I don't know. I don't think it's going to be like a dominant. Like, I'm not.
It ain't going to be Michael Chandler, Justin Gaethje.
I'm not going to say he's going to dog walk Volk, but I just think he's going to be too much.
Give me an over and under. Over under 3 rounds. Under 3 rounds.
Under 3 rounds.
I don't even know what the Vegas line is on that, but that's going to be real interesting. Real interesting. Might have to fork up a couple bucks on that. I don't know. I'm going to have to look up my Bet MGM FanDuel Sportsbook DraftKings. I'm the only one with that app, bro. I'm the only one with that fucking app. But UFC 284, man, we have got a banger up on us. And one other good fight on the card, really. Yair Rodriguez is back. Another young, exciting fighter.
Yeah, I mean, last time we saw him fight was against, I think it was Max Holloway. I think it was on a fight night.
Does Derek Lewis need to retire?
Yeah.
Is it time for him too?
Well,
I mean, look. Gatekeeper status, okay?
He's definitely a gatekeeper.
Do you remain gatekeeper status when you keep losing? Don't you know what I mean? Like, at what point do you lose gatekeeper status, or do you just keep that with you until you go? Because that's a tough one. I'm almost at this point now where,
I mean, Derek Lewis, he's like the old school type of heavyweight. Like, he's just trying to knock you out. He's not like a Ciryl Gane. He's not like a Tom Espinal. He's not like a John Jones, even though we haven't seen him fight at heavyweight. We know what John Jones is and what he represents. We know he's a technical fighter. He's not a Curtis Blades. So he's an old school heavyweight who just tries to knock you out, and I just think that they got him figured out.
It's gonna be a banger. It's gonna be a banger because he any fight he gets in, he tries to make it that old school like we talk about, you know, the knockouts that he used to have, but he needs to hang it up. He does need to hang it up. So got UFC 284 coming up, big one on the cards. You know, anything else you want to say to the folks? I mean, we a jam-packed weekend. Got boxing, got MMA coming up. A lot of hypotheticals coming up. A lot of good fights coming up, man. We'll be back on it. Please make sure y'all like us on Facebook, Combat Conversations. Follow us on Twitter at Combat Convo 504, at Combat Convo 502. Make sure y'all hit us up anytime, any place, anywhere. So I've been your boy AG.
I'm your boy DB.
Peace.